The Instagram post was a grenade lobbed into a polarized America. Seashells on a beach, meticulously arranged into the number 8647, uploaded by James Comey, former FBI director, on a humid July evening in 2025. The caption, "Nature Speaks." Listen. No hashtags, no context, just shells and sand. By dawn, it was a national crisis. Donald Trump, the 47th president, freshly re-elected, took to X with a bombshell: "Comey's Seashell stunt equals 86 me." Code for assassination. Deep state at it again. The accusation was wild but viral. 86, slang for, to eliminate, paired with 47, a clear nod to Trump, lit up the internet. Comey denied it, calling it artistic expression on X, but the damage was done. A single photo had sparked a firestorm, and the truth, whether threat, jab, or coincidence, would unravel a web of paranoia, power, and digital chaos that threatened to tear the nation apart. The post hit X like a tsunami. Within hours, Trump's base was in a frenzy, flooding platforms with screenshots and theories. 8647 is a kill order, one viral thread claimed, racking up 2.3 million views. QAnon stragglers, still active in X's darker corners, spun it into a grand conspiracy, linking the number to everything from Masonic codes to a secret CIA hit list. Mainstream media piled on. CNN's Chiron read, "Comey's shells, threat or misunderstanding?" Fox News went harder, "FBI traitor targets Trump?" Amateur sleuths on Reddit and TikTok zoomed in on the image, claiming one shell had a carved X, or that the sand's shadows formed a skull. None held up, but facts didn't matter. The narrative was set: Comey, the upright G-man turned beachcomber, was either a mastermind or a fall guy. Trump smelled blood. At a rally in Georgia, he waved a blown-up print of the photo, shouting, "This is their plan. They can't beat me, so they try this." The crowd roared, chanting, "Lock him up." Merch flooded Etsy, 86 Comey t-shirts, shell-shaped, MAGA 47 pins. The White House press secretary, in a tense briefing, hinted at explosive evidence tying Comey to a broader plot. The pressure was unbearable. By noon on July 9, the Justice Department caved, announcing a formal investigation into incitement and conspiracy to harm the president. The evidence? A photo and a slang term. In 2025's America, that was enough. The case landed on the desk of Special Agent Marcus Vega, a 20-year FBI veteran with a reputation for cracking digital mysteries. Attorney General Pamela Hart, a Trump appointee, gave him a tight leash: "Find the truth, Marcus, but don't embarrass us." Vega assembled a task force, cyber analysts, behavioral profilers, and a linguist to decode the 8647 riddle. His first move was the post itself. Instagram's metadata pinned it to Martha's Vineyard, Comey's summer retreat. Geotags marked a private beach, the timestamp read 6:47 p.m. The shells, quahogs, scallops, were local, unremarkable. But the number gnawed at Vega. Why 8647? He ran it through every database: license plates, bank accounts, zip codes. Zilch. The 86 slang was flimsier, diner jargon, not assassin code. Still, the optics were brutal. Comey, sacked by Trump in 2017, had a grudge. His book A Higher Loyalty called Trump a moral failure. Their feud was a Washington legend. Vega's team hauled Comey in for questioning. In a sterile D.C. conference room, the ex-director was cool as ice. "It's art," he said, leaning back. "I was walking the beach, saw the shells, and made a pattern. The numbers random." When Vega pressed on 86, Comey smirked. "I'm not a mobster. If I wanted to send a message, I'd testify, not play with clams." Vega wasn't convinced. Comey's polish felt rehearsed, his story too tidy. The team pulled his digital footprint, phone records, emails, XDMs. Nothing overt, but a text to a former FBI colleague, sent July 6, stood out, big move coming. Watch the news. Innocent? Maybe. Suspicious? Absolutely. The investigation snowballed. Vega's cyber team tracked the X chatter. Bots were amplifying the 8647 hysteria, many traced to servers in Moscow and Shenzhen. Foreign interference, or just trolls profiting off chaos? They couldn't tell. Meanwhile, Comey's recent movements raised flags. He'd attended a DC fundraiser for a progressive PAC in June, mingling with anti-Trump heavyweights. An anonymous X post, leaked from a hacked email, named Comey in a shadowy group called The Librarians, ex-Intel officials allegedly plotting to sabotage Trump's term. Vega chased the lead, but it vanished into a labyrinth of VPNs and burner accounts. The public wasn't helping. Tips flooded the FBI hotline, most garbage, some unhinged. A Florida man was arrested for posting a video of himself smashing shells while screaming about deep state traitors. A Michigan militia vowed to guard 47 with AR-15s. Vega's team sifted through the noise, but the clock was ticking. Trump kept the heat on, tweeting daily, "Comey's silence equals guilt." The White House leaked that major arrests were imminent, though Vega had no such plans. The agent felt the walls closing in. This wasn't just about shells, it was about a nation ready to snap. A lead emerged from Comey's Instagram history. An analyst noticed he posted beach photos every July, driftwood, pebbles, seaweed, always on July 8, his late mother's birthday. In 2023, stones spelled MOM. In 2024, a sand sketch read 64, her age at death. Was 8647 a tribute, not a threat? Vega dug into the math. Flipped, 86 to 47 became 74 to 68, matching her birth and death years. He confronted Comey. The ex-director's mask slipped, just for a second. "She loved that beach," he said softly. "The shells were for her." But why the vague caption? "Old habit. I don't owe the world answers." Vega believed him, mostly. The memorial angle fit, but it didn't explain the text about making waves or the PAC fundraiser. The investigation hit a wall. The Librarians' lead fizzled, the bots were a dead end. But Vega's gut screamed there was more. Late one night, an encrypted email hit his inbox, flagged by the cyber team. Sent from a Tor network, it contained a single line, 8647 isn't the code. Check the shadows. Attached was a high-res copy of the Seashell photo. Vega zoomed in. In the sand, barely visible, was a faint outline, a symbol, angular and deliberate. He froze. It wasn't a skull or a pentagram. It was a crest, one he'd seen in classified files, the mark of a defunct Black Ops unit, tied to Comey's FBI days. The game had just changed, the faint crest in the sand changed everything. Special Agent Marcus Vega stared at the high-res image of James Comey's Seashell post, the angular symbol barely visible beneath the 8647 arrangement. It wasn't a random shadow or Reddit fantasy, it was the emblem of Spectre, a defunct FBI Black Ops unit from the 2000s, tied to Comey's early days as a deputy director. Spectre had been shuttered after a whistleblower exposed its off-book surveillance, but its ghost lingered in classified files. Vega's pulse quickened. Was Comey signaling old allies? Taunting enemies? Or was this a plant to frame him? The anonymous email, 8647 isn't the code. Check the shadows, had come through a Tor network, untraceable. Someone wanted Vega to see this, but why? In July 2025, with the nation on edge over Trump's assassination claims, the Seashell case was no longer about a photo. It was a chessboard, and Vega was running out of moves that he kept the discovery tight, sharing it only with his core task force, cyber analyst Priya Khan, behavioral profiler Dr. Alan Rees, and linguist Dr. Elena Torres. Khan reprocessed the image, confirming the crest's authenticity. It matched Spectre's seal, down to the jagged line symbolizing invisible justice. Rees, studying Comey's psych profile, flagged his obsession with legacy. "He's not reckless," Rees said. "If this is a message, it's calculated." Torres tackled the number again, dismissing the 86 equals kill theory as pop culture nonsense. She ran 8,647 through cryptographic models, numerology, ASCII, even naval signal codes. Nothing clicked, but the crest suggested a deeper game. Vega ordered a dive into Spectre's history, pulling dusty files from FBI archives. The unit had targeted domestic threats, often bending rules. Comey had overseen its final missions before it dissolved in 2009. Did he know something, or someone, that tied to 8647? The investigation was leaking like a sieve. X buzzed with new conspiracies, fueled by Trump's relentless tweets. Comey's shells equals deep state SOS. We're closing in. A blurry screenshot of the Seashell photo, with the crest circled in red, surfaced on a QAnon-adjacent board. The leaker wasn't Vega's team, but the damage was done. Pro-Trump influencers ran with it, claiming the crest proved a shadow government plot. Anti-Trump factions countered, calling it a MAGA hoax to smear Comey. The White House, sensing momentum, pressured Attorney General Pamela Hart for arrests. Hart, in a tense call, told Vega, "Give me something concrete, or I'll find someone who will." Vega hung up, cursing. He was chasing truth, she was chasing headlines. The team doubled down on Comey's past. His Martha's Vineyard home was swept for clues. Nothing, no burner phones, no coded diaries. But a hidden safe held a surprise, a 2010 memo, declassified but redacted, detailing Spectre's last op, Project Tide. It targeted a rogue financier, codenamed Shell, suspected of funding terror cells. The op collapsed when Shell vanished, and Spectre was disbanded soon after. The memo listed Comey as a signatory. Vega's team cross-referenced Shell with 8647. No hits, but Khan found a buried DOJ database entry. Shell's real name was Victor Grayson, a Wall Street tycoon who resurfaced in 2023, now a donor to anti-Trump PACs. Grayson had been at the June fundraiser Comey attended. Coincidence? Vega didn't believe in those that he tracked Grayson to a Manhattan penthouse. The financier was cagey, denying any recent contact with Comey. "I fund causes, not conspiracies," he snapped. But his phone records showed a call to Comey's burner, yes, a burner, 2 days before the post. Vega confronted Comey again, this time at a secure FBI safehouse. The ex-director looked tired, his cool facade fraying. "Grayson's an old case, not a friend," he said. "We talked politics, nothing more." Vega showed him the crest-enhanced photo. Comey's eyes narrowed. "That's not my work," he said. "Someone tampered with it." Vega pressed, "Then why the burner? Why make waves in your text?" Comey clammed up, demanding a lawyer. Vega let him go but tagged his movements. If Comey was playing spymaster, he'd slip. The Tor email sender was the next puzzle. Khan traced the server hops, Estonia, then Singapore, then nowhere. But the email's metadata hid a clue. A pixel in the attached photo was encoded with GPS coordinates, pointing to a derelict warehouse in Baltimore. Vega's team raided it, finding a makeshift server farm, still warm. Hard drives held fragments of a manifesto, ranting about reclaiming America and naming the librarians as a resistance network. Comey's name appeared twice, alongside Grayson and ex-CIA officer Laura Hensley, another fundraiser attendee. The drives also held a doctored version of the Seashell photo, with the Spectre crest digitally added. Someone had forged it to frame Comey, or to expose him. The warehouse was a front, leased to a shell company tied to a Russian oligarch. Vega's head spun. Was this Kremlin meddling, or a domestic setup? The public was unraveling. Trump's rallies grew volatile, with fistfights breaking out over 8,647 signs. A California woman was arrested for firebombing a bookstore selling Comey's memoir. X posts with hashtag Shellgate hit 10 million, half bot-driven. Vega's team flagged a new player, Patriot Eye, an X account posting cryptic warnings about traitors in the sand. Patriot Eye's IP traced to a VPN, but its rhetoric matched White House talking points. Was Trump's team fanning the flames? Vega couldn't prove it, but the timing stank. He briefed Hart, urging caution. She ignored him, announcing a major break in the case on live TV. Vega watched, furious, as she dangled the crest as proof of a conspiracy. The crowd cheered. Vega saw a witch hunt. The memorial angle, Comey's mother, still nagged Vega. He sent Torres to Martha's Vineyard to recreate the post. On the same beach, she arranged shells into 8647. The crest didn't appear naturally, it required deliberate etching. Comey was either lying about the photo's purity, or someone had access to his beach. Vega leaned toward the latter. A local security cam caught a figure near Comey's property on July 7, face obscured, carrying a bag. Khan enhanced the footage. The bag's logo matched a DC tech firm, Nexus Analytics, known for political dirty tricks. Nexus's client list included a PAC opposing Trump's re-election. The dots were connecting, but the picture was murky. Vega's break came from an unlikely source, Laura Hensley, the ex-CIA officer. She contacted him anonymously, requesting a meet in a Philly diner. Over burnt coffee, she spilled. "The librarians exist," she said. "Not assassins, just intel vets sharing info to counter Trump's overreach." Comey wasn't a leader, just a sympathizer. The Seashell post was his idea, a subtle nod to their cause, but the crest was a setup. Nexus Analytics, hired by a pro-Trump operative, had hacked Comey's Instagram, embedding the crest to paint him as a traitor. The 8647 was indeed a memorial, but Comey chose it knowing it'd stir chatter. "He's vain," Hensley said. "He wanted to be relevant." She had no proof, just names, a Nexus exec, Tyler Crane, and a White House aide, Sarah Benton. As the plot's architects, Vega moved fast. Crane, cornered in a sting, admitted doctoring the photo for a client. Benton, the aide, was trickier. Wiretaps caught her bragging about burying Comey, but nothing indictable. Vega's report, filed in August, laid it bare. Comey's post was a memorial with a political edge, exploited by both sides. The crest was a forgery, the 86 theory baseless. The librarians were real but toothless. Hart buried the report, citing security concerns. Trump spun it as a win, tweeting, "Deep state exposed. Comey's done." Comey vanished from X, his beach house shuttered. Patriot Eye went dark. The nation moved on, chasing the next outrage. Vega quit the FBI a month later, haunted by the case. The truth, a mix of grief, ego, and dirty tricks, hadn't healed the divide. At a bar, nursing a whiskey, he scrolled X. A new post caught his eye, shells on a different beach, spelling 2026. No caption. He froze. The game wasn't over. Marcus Vega's whiskey glass froze mid-sip. The X post glowed on his phone, seashells on a rocky shore, arranged into 2026. No caption, no tags, just the image, uploaded by an account called Tidewatcher, with 0 followers and a blank profile. It was September 2025, 6 weeks after Vega quit the FBI, burned out from the James Comey 8647 fiasco. That case, sparked by Comey's Instagram post and Trump's assassination claims, had exposed a web of forged evidence, political tricks, and a fractured nation. Vega thought it was over. But this new post, echoing the same cryptic vibe, screamed trouble. Was it Comey, back for round 2? A copycat? Or something worse? Vega downed his drink and grabbed his coat. Retirement could wait, the 2026 post was already trending. Ex-users, still raw from the summer's chaos, pounced. "COMEY'S at it again," one thread screamed, tying 2026 to the midterm elections. Others saw it as a countdown to Trump's term ending. Cannon's remnants, quieter since the 8647 probe, resurfaced, claiming 2026 was a deep state signal for a coup. Vega, now a civilian, had no badge, no team, but his instincts kicked in. He screenshotted the post before it could vanish and pinged Priya Khan, his old cyber analyst, now at a private firm. "You seeing this?" he texted, attaching the image. Her reply was instant, "On it. Meet me in DC tomorrow." Khan's Georgetown apartment doubled as a tech lair. By morning, she'd cracked the post's metadata. Uploaded from Maine's Acadia National Park, timestamp 3:14 a.m. The shells, mussels, periwinkles, were local. No geotag, but the account's IP bounced through a VPN in Iceland. "Tidewatcher's a ghost," Khan said, her laptop humming. But the post's gaining bots, same Russian signatures as last time. Vega's gut churned. The 8647 case had traced bots to Moscow. Was this the same playbook? He studied the photo. No crests, no symbols, just 2026 in clean lines. Too clean, like it was staged. Trump hadn't tweeted yet, but his orbit was stirring. Sarah Benton, the White House aide Vega suspected of orchestrating the 8647 smear, posted on X, "More shells, more lies. We're watching." Her tone was smug, hinting